Welcome everybody to Who You Got podcast. This is your host. My name is Dro with my co-host Caleb. That's my man. We're over here just doing a podcast for sports, NFL predictions. We're going to talk about some fantasy things. We're going to talk about the teams that we believe are going to win. And today's first episode is going to be very special. It's going to be great. We're going to actually predict the whole season stats and standings for each team and who we think might win their division. Ain't that right?
That is correct. I know that. Why would you be listening to random dudes that you don't know about sports that you don't think that do? But we've been following this for a long time, and this is kind of our passion, and we kind of like to compete with one another. So these predictions aren't just predictions per se, but they could evolve into some punishments for the other person. So we like to have some fun with it that way.
Could be is an understatement. There will be. So each week we're going to have a new podcast. We're going to do weekly picks on who we think is going to win, and then we're going to tally the scores at the end of the week, and we're going to create a good punishment for each and one of us. It's going to be safe, but it's going to be funny for you guys' benefits. Let us know if you guys got other punishments or comments about the punishments, if you like them and stuff like that. But give us back some feedback, And at the end of this video, stay tuned because we're going to do the first week and who we think is going to win, and just our base reasoning on why they might win. And then we'll also reveal what punishments we have in store for that person at the end of this episode too.
All right, so we'll get started off with season rankings and stuff like that. So we can start off with the AFC. AFC, obviously there's powerhouses. We got the Chiefs and the Bengals. I have them 1 and 2. I got the Chiefs at 13-4 and the Bengals at 13-4. I think that there's not going to be much change from last year. I think they're still obviously the two best teams in the AFC. Following them, though, I have the New York Jets.
It's very
I love seeing them on Hard Knocks with Dalvin Cook now, Breece Hall coming back. They're both projected to start, to play week 1.
Okay.
You got Garrett Wilson, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Sauce Gardner, Defensive Rookie of the Year. You have just talent. Quinnen Williams, everybody there right now wants to win, and I think that it's going to be an exciting season for them. I don't know. In the 4th spot in the last division champion, I have Jacksonville Jaguars in the AFC South, which is a pretty garbage division. Follow that. I have Houston, Indy, and what was it, Tennessee? Yeah,
they got some easy games there in the South, man. They should come out on top.
Yep. Then I got Chargers, Bills, and I had the Patriots at the 5, 6, and 7. I'm a Pats fan. I have faith. I don't think that their defense is going to be projected the way that their defense is going to perform. I think that they're going to be a top 5 defense in the league this year.
Bold statement.
I do.
Bold statement.
I know. And then also Bill O'Brien coming back. The high praise on Mac Jones is this is his year or he's out.
Since we're speaking up on the Patriots, let's let the people know where I have the Patriots ranked at. So I think the Patriots are going to end the season at 4-13. Hey, hate me if you want. I don't have confidence. Okay, I myself am a 49ers fan. We'll get there a little bit later, but I don't see the Patriots having the confidence on the Mac Jones throwing the ball as well as maybe he even did last season. He struggled with some things last season, but he doesn't have those elite receivers that other teams might have, like the Dolphins, for instance, right? They got the dual running threat down deep with Waddle and Hill, and they got solid tight ends, but I just don't see them being able to compete with the teams that they're going to be going against in their hard schedule, I think.
Like Gesicki, Hunter Henry, both threats. The backfield of Ramondre Stevenson and Ezekiel Elliott.
I mean, Zeke hasn't been good for like years, man, and plus he's chubby.
I mean, he's on the Cowboys, so the Cowboys haven't been good in how long? So,
is that why you think that Zeke hasn't been good?
I mean, there's a lot of factors. I'm not a big Zeke guy. I didn't really want him, but
you got him now. You gotta love him.
But we got him, so I gotta get on that bandwagon.
Okay, all right.
I wanted Dalvin, but see where that went.
Yes, yes, yes. So let me trade up on some of these AFC contenders. I can't give you a 1 through 6 on them, but I will say who's going to win each division that I think, and I'll tell you the records that they're going to have. So starting at the AFC East, I think that the Buffalo Bills will take that one. It's pretty easy. I think that the Jets do have a very, very valid contention within the first place of that, and but I feel like they'll fall second. Um, do I think they'll win a lot of games? Yeah. Aaron Rodgers at quarterback with now Dalvin Cook, and then everyone are getting healthy on their running squad, and their receiving core is just amazing. I think that they'll do well, and that defense is going to be pretty stout. Do I think they'll be better than Niners? No, but that's just my opinion. Uh, coming out of the AFC North, I think the AFC North is going to be taken by the Bengals, obviously. Um, that one isn't too much of a surprise. I think a lot of people are going to think that Pittsburgh will take off running with it because of the talent that they got there and their defense as well. But I don't think they find the solutions until later in the season and later in the year, I should say. I think early on they're going to do some struggling, which will cause them to lose a few games, maybe too many. I think Baltimore is going to be a close second, very close actually, because I have Cincinnati Bengals going 11-6, and I have Baltimore going at 10-7. So that's going to be super close. AFC South, I agree with you. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars will take that division super easy. There's no contenders in that division. I think the closest that they will have in contention will be the Titans.
Mhm.
But who knows how that's going to go if the quarterback situation stands out there. I think Houston would be the worst team again, but hey, they could surprise me. I've been surprised before. AFC West, no brainer, right? Kansas City Chiefs. They're taking that. I think close second is going to be the Chargers, coming in at 10-7. But the Chiefs, they're just a great team. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelsey. I don't see that going anywhere for a while. I think it's crazy to say that they might go undefeated. I think there's a lot of teams that they might, you know, fall to just due to some certain circumstances. Because I know they have a game in Germany against a tough team, the Miami Dolphins that week. So that's something to look out for. I think they fall short a couple games, but not too many. So they still have that stout team that they do have in them.
I
Let's
agree.
start. Let's start with the NFC. What do you got NFC going?
NFC, I have the Niners taking the conference. I have them going 14-3. I think that they're going to have the best regular season in the NFL. But I am worried their quarterback room might not. That
Yeah,
saw last year, Brock Purdy is a good candidate for a quarterback. But this year we are going to see if it is good enough.
that's fair.
That Trey Lance situations, shipping him out, Sam Darnold being QB2.
And we all know how I hate them.
Yeah. So I think it'll be interesting. I think that they will have a great regular season, but I am worried about their postseason hopes. Following the 49ers, I have the Eagles, obviously, taking the NFC East. I think that the NFC East is going to be competitive. I think it was competitive last season. The Giants almost doing something. The Cowboys obviously are always trying to do something, but and then the Commanders, who are just they're a competitive team that probably won't do much with it. Following the Eagles, I have the Lions. I think the Lions are going to take the North. I think some people might think that the Vikings will, but I think the Vikings fall off. Their defense is not going to be great. They lost Dalvin Cook.
But you like that. Come on, you can't just dismiss you like that, Mister. You like that?
Come on. I mean, how many primetime games do they have this year? We need to look at that.
Yeah,
because that'll matter.
All right. What do you got the Minnesota Vikings going?
The Vikings, I have them going 11-6.
Strong.
I have them going 11. I also have the Lions going 11-6.
Oh, a little tie action. Okay.
I think that it's going to be tied, but I do think the Lions will win the division, the standings. So they'll have the tiebreaker.
Okay.
And the South, yeah, I have the Saints.
Mm.
Just like the AFC South, I don't think that the NFC South it's the weaker of the divisions throughout the conference.
Mhm.
There's not much hope for that division.
Mhm.
I don't think that the Saints are going to be great. I just think that they'll kind of slip in there just because there has to be a team. I have them going 9-8.
Okay. Okay.
So
All right. Last
obviously, and then my playoff teams, I have the Vikings, Cowboys, and Seahawks. So
one. All right.
yeah,
Nice. I like that. Following the NFC on my picks. So I agree with you most of the way. I think NFC East. I think the Philadelphia Eagles take it. You have them at 12-5. I have them at 11-6. So we're missing a one game there. I think what you said was right. It will be competitive. I think that all four of those teams are pretty strong. They've gotten stronger over the offseason. I think they'll get stronger this season. But you got to remember the Giants have Daniel Jones, who's iffy at best, and then you also have Saquon Barkley, who is not happy at being there. You know, he expressed that concern way in the offseason. Yes, did he manage to sign a contract and stay to play? Of course, but I don't think that he will play 100% if you understand what I mean. But I think that'll be a factor there. Dallas, of course, we actually have them going the same at 10-7. Dallas is a good team. Dak Prescott is a little shaky. You got Michael Parsons on defense, which is it's just great, but I just think Dallas isn't there yet. You know,
Mm.
coming out of the North, NFC North, I have the Vikings taking it 10-7. You have them at 11-6, so we're not too far off there. Second place going to the Detroit Lions at 8-9. You have them at 11-6. Big jump. I do
that
think
is
the Lions have a good team. I think they have great talent. I'm just not a believer in Jared Goff. Jared Goff is just he's to me he's trash. Uh, and I don't think he's gonna have enough. Yes, they have great receivers in St. Brown. I just I don't know. I don't see. I think the Lions have a great defense too. I just don't see them winning that many games. I think they're going to be a surprise to everyone if they do, especially with their first week matchup against the Chiefs.
Mhm.
Not going to happen. I think they'll give them a good game, but I think ultimately they lose. But we'll get into that later on why that is.
Mhm.
And then NFC South, still the same, lackluster. I think they have young talent that still needs to be developed, especially with the Falcons with their young quarterback. I think Tampa Bay is not there yet. I don't believe in Baker Mayfield. I think they're gonna have to go through a whole rebuild type deal because Tom Brady left, and I
Yeah.
think that's gonna be troublesome for him.
Mhm.
I think Atlanta Falcon has really good uh, talent, but it's young. Their tight end is fucking amazing, and the quarterback is we've yet to see, but we'll see how it goes. And then Carolina, lastly, I don't know, man. I just Bryce Young is Bryce Young. Young. He made a lot of mistakes in the preseason, but I think he'll fix some of them. I just don't think there'll be a competitive team with the weak offensive line that they have. I think they need a little bit more key spots for that. Coming out of the West, of course, I have the 49ers. Even being biased, I do have them at 12-5. I would love to put them where you have them at 14-3. I would love that, but even being biased, I have to put them at 12-5. I feel like there's some games that might get away from us, especially Brock Purdy coming back, figuring himself out again, and doing all this stuff. He did look good in that last game. Um, he's been looking good, recovering from his injury, but I just think that we probably let some of the games go. Some of the games that we have are kind of tough and probably going to get close to a wire, and we'll probably let some go. But I still think ultimately win that division. And the Cardinals suck, so they're going to be at 2-15. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, I have them at 3-14, so we're kind of on the same page there.
Of course, of course, of course. But yeah, we're just predicting these things. We got to see. We looked at the schedule. There's some teams that have really close battles and I think some of those are kind of like the Green Bay and the Bears. We can talk about that, with Jordan Love at the helm and what he's going to do for that team, and then of course the Bears got the wheel, Justin Fields. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That man runs all over the place, but I just think they're not a team that's going to be contenders for like playoffs contingency until maybe a little later. And I do understand that some people might have the Packers making the playoffs this year, but I don't know. I think Jordan Love needs more time to figure himself out, and then I think later in the season, yeah, the Packers would be a great team, and maybe next year they'll have some good uh, contingency for that playoff spots and stuff.
Yep. I think Jordan Love needs some more love. And
Yeah, yeah.
no, but I don't see the Packers even taking second. I don't see them taking. I can see them potentially being fourth place in their division.
Mm,
I think that Chicago will turn the tide. I think Chicago will take back those reins from Green Bay, not for the division, but from Green Bay. I know the Packers have had their number for the past decade. So I think it's going to be their win this year is that feeling, but they're not going to be a playoff team. But I do think that they're going to show some promise.
okay. Do you
So
think do you think because Aaron Rodgers left, that's why the Bears are gonna take back control? Like now's our time. We have to do it.
I think if they don't, then that's they need to capitalize on this.
Mm,
Aaron Rodgers himself has seemingly owned the Chicago Bears, and he has let them know that
several
numerous
times.
occasions. Yes.
Several times.
So
Oh,
so if the Bears fail to this year, then I think that their franchise needs a revamp somewhere. They need to look at something because
mhm.
this is their time right now to develop a core with Justin Fields. You gotta think the Packers were looking bad last year. They
Right.
kind of figured it out towards the end,
Mhm,
but
mhm.
their start was almost atrocious without Devontae Adams in the picture.
Okay.
So Aaron Rodgers had to try to connect, and he kind of found some development in Christian Watson, and now you're trying to make that connection with Jordan Love and his receivers, and I don't think that there's going to be. I don't think there's good enough receivers
Mhm.
there that can help out Jordan Love. I don't think their running game is strong enough. I know Aaron Jones is good. I know AJ Dillon is good, but I don't think that they can carry that team to where they want to be.
All right. All right. I like that. I'll take that. I'll take that. That's good, man. Well, I mean, like I said, those are our stats. That's what we're thinking. I'll show them on the screen for you guys right here to look in a little bit more in depth on what we got. And if you think we're just outlandish on some of our stuff, let us know in the comment. I mean, I know some people got their favorite teams and they think that we're just like crazy people. I know a bunch of people who are Bucks fans and they're like, you're out of your mind that they're going to go 7-10. But
Yeah.
just Baker Mayfield, bro.
Baltimore 17. No, what are you talking about?
Baker Mayfield is just going to be baking pies and interceptions, but
Yeah.
that's just it's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about a little bit of let's dip off into the fantasy football realm. Have you done some lineups?
I have a couple. I have done a couple drafts. I have a draft tonight, actually.
Oh, okay.
Um,
All right.
actually, I did a draft for one of my classes in school, and I
Mm.
think it might have been the easiest draft I've ever been a part of.
Oh, nice, nice. What kind of
Uh,
like teams are we looking at? How many teams?
there was only 8 teams, so
Okay.
the lineups are kind of stacked. But I walked away with the greatest running back room that I've ever seen in fantasy football,
Oh,
and
okay.
that was I think my first round pick was Austin Eckler,
Mm.
and then I got Nick Chubb in my second,
Hmm, hmm.
and then I got Derrick Henry,
Okay. Okay.
and then on my bench I have Alvin Kamara and Jonathan Taylor,
Mm. Mm. I mean,
which
Alvin
is
Kamara is a little. dicey now, man. The Saints, I don't know, man. Alvin
which
Kamara's
is he's RB1 if he comes back and does what he normally does.
well, yeah, of course, yeah.
And I walked away with him in like the 11th round, so I was happy with that. Josh Allen as my quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, we got fantasy points to just trade around with Jonathan Taylor and Alvin Kamara, so I'm not even worried about that. But had a couple good drafts. I'm excited for it.
Some good picks. I have one as well this evening. So I'll be doing that late as hell for me in the morning. It's like 2 a.m. in the morning, but that's just because I'm all the way overseas and stuff. So but that's how that works. I think are you more into like a still running back first mindset right now, or are you like doing receivers first? Because I mean, a lot of people might be changing because of Justin Jefferson and all the receivers that's coming up right now that are taking like the limelight of like fantasy points.
I think outside of fantasy too is affecting how the fantasy drafting is going. Like with running backs itself, it's becoming more and more sketchy. Like with their contracts and the deals. I know that like for the year you're certain that they're going to be doing their things, but players like Saquon or Jonathan Taylor, are they going to play at their fullest capabilities? Are you drafting them as high as you want to because you don't know if they're going to provide the same way that they have in the past? So I think wide receivers are becoming more of a safer bet, especially early in the draft.
Of course. I do like your first pick is Austin Eckler. I think I'm gonna do the same. Hopefully it won't air, so I'm not telling people my secret picks here. But I think I'm gonna get Austin Eckler. I might look at Josh Jacobs because he's just a stout running back and he will generate points no matter what. But those are some running backs I might take a peek at and see if I can get early on. But with that, let's go into the main thing here. Let's go into week 1 NFL picks. Who you think is going to win? I'm going to name down the list. We're going to go what you think, who's going to win, by what points. It doesn't matter, but we're just going to list off who's going to win. And that way, at the end of the week, when we do our next show next week, we're going to tally up the points, and whoever loses gets that dreadful punishment. All right. So think carefully on who you're picking. All right. But let me run down the scoreboard here. Okay. So what we got here, every week or every team or matchup, I should say, is going to be worth 1 point. The only ones that's not going to be worth 1 point are going to be your Thursday night games and then your Monday night games. Those are going to be worth 2 additional points. All right. So 2 points total. And then we are going to have some, we already have differences. And then we'll tally up the scores. Whoever wins will get that punishment. If there's a tie, in the event if there's a tie, we will let a third party decide the punishment for the person. All right. And I don't know how that's going to go. We might take it to a vote. We'll see what happens. But we'll think of a general communicable punishment, and then third party will choose, whether it be fans if we have those yet, or if it'll be just our small viewers that we might have.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead. Let's do it. Week 1, first game, Thursday night. We got the Lions and the Chiefs. Who are you taking?
Week 1, Kansas City. Detroit's not coming out week 1 and putting it down Kansas City's throat. Sorry. Love Detroit, but it's not happening.
All right. I got to agree. The Chiefs has got to take that one. They're coming out slinging the ball. I think Detroit will give them a good game, though, and show some true colors of what Detroit might be later on in the season. But I really do think that the Chiefs just run right all over them on Thursday night. All right. Second game, we got Texans and the Ravens. What are you thinking?
That one is, I think I looked at the betting lines, and I think that's the biggest upset that would be if the Texans would win. But obviously, I have Baltimore week 1. There's no,
of course.
Yeah, I can't find myself to find me saying Texans win that game. So
landslide victory, Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah,
come on, they got OBJ now. Lamar Jackson's there with fresh contracts and all that good money. Ravens. Next game, Bengals, Browns. Who you got?
I think it's a good one. I think it'll be a good one, but since he's taking it, I think since he starts off hot.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, I gotta agree with you. I think Cincinnati takes it. I think Browns gave them a good game as well. I just don't see the Browns pulling an upset right there with Deshaun Watson, and I don't believe. All right,
Yep.
next game, Bucks and the Vikings. What you got?
I think that Minnesota is an easy one for me. Yeah. Tampa Bay doesn't have it figured out yet.
Mm,
So
I like it. I like it. I think we're the same. We're going to take the Vikings on this one. Next one, Titans and the Saints. Close game.
I think Tennessee is going to be better than people think.
Okay.
I think Tennessee takes this matchup. Um, I
Okay.
think, yeah.
That's our first difference maker right there. I take the Saints. I think they're going to win it. I think their defense will show up. I think their defense will stop whatever's going on there. And I feel like the Saints will win. I think the betting average got the Saints a little bit above too as well.
That they do.
Next game, Panthers and Falcons. Who you got?
This was another upset for me. I chose Carolina over Atlanta.
Crazy.
I think every week there's got to be that game, and I think every week Atlanta proves that. I mean, at least last season and every season before, that Atlanta will find a way to lose a game.
Mhm.
So if there's going to be an upset, Atlanta would love to do that. So
Okay, so you're picking the Panthers.
Yep.
All right. I say you're crazy, but I'm crazy too because I'm picking the Panthers in this one. I think they show out. I think Atlanta does find a way to lose this game when they should have won it, but
Yep.
I think the Panthers take it. Next game, Jags and Colts. Who you got?
Jags, and that's easy. Indy is not going to come out week one ready to go. This JT situation is still very tender. Rookie quarterback, week one. Who knows what's happening with their locker room right now? So I think Jackson's got to figure it out, and I think they're going to take it.
Exactly. Easy pick for me as well, Jags. My game, 49ers and the Steelers. Who you got?
It's a good one. I think it'll be a low scoring matchup. I think
Okay.
both defenses are great,
Mhm.
but I think 49ers will find a way to make it work. I don't think Kenny Pickett and George Pickens is a good enough offense, and I'm not a Najee Harris believer. So
All right. I like it. I like it. Niners for the win for me. I'm always going to pick the Niners, maybe most of the time. We'll see. We'll see how it works out. But I do agree 49ers over the Steelers. Next game, Cardinals, Commanders. Who you got?
come on now, I'm not going to pick the worst team in the league to win in week one. I am not picking Arizona.
All right.
I think
All right.
Commanders will take it pretty easily.
Yep. Commanders myself. I got Commanders going to win that one, probably by a big margin. Next game, Raiders and Broncos. Who you got?
I think Denver. I think Denver has kind of redemption year. You know, they got Sean Payton in there as a head coach. So I think that they're going to look better.
So you think Sean Payton is going to fix Russell Wilson?
I don't think Russell Wilson was necessarily the problem.
Okay.
Well,
you know they're not going to have Jerry Jeudy. They're going to have Caitlin Sutherland. And that's it.
And Williams is coming back from his injury. He wasn't there for all of last season.
Okay.
So
I am taking the Raiders. So there's another one that we differ on. I got the Raiders winning that one. All right. Next game, Dolphins, Chargers. Who you got?
Ooh. I think Chargers. I don't think Miami is going to be the same threat that they were last year. I like them, but I can't find myself to get on that train.
All right. Yeah. Well, guess what? I'm riding the train. Pause. But choo, I'm getting the Dolphins. All right. I know it might sound crazy, but the Chargers is a great team, and they probably have the better personnel. But I feel like the Dolphins just squeeze it out a win. I don't know how. I don't know why, but if it happens, it happens. You can call me El Maestro. I think they'll take it. Next game, we got the Eagles and the Patriots. Who you got?
So I'd like to be like you with the 49ers and pick my team every week, but I'm going to be realistic here and say week one,
yep,
the attending Super Bowl party is going to take it. I think Philadelphia is going to take week 1. So
I agree. Philadelphia Eagles, they beat the crap out of the Patriots. I'm
I don't
sorry.
know about all that.
But I think they beat them, and I think that's what's going to happen. All right. And now our next game, we got the Packers and the Bears. Who you got?
Just like I said earlier, the turn of the tides. I think Chicago's taking it. I think it's their stamp.
I feel you. I feel you, and I agree. I think the Bears actually take this one. I think they end their streak and they show the Packers something, and it's going to be a great game too. Uh, next game we got the Seahawks and the Rams, a battle in the NFC East. Who you got?
But Seattle, I think the Rams are. Name me another player that's not Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, or Aaron Donald.
Okay.
I don't think that they're going to be able to be that team that they were 2 years ago in the Super Bowl. So
I like it. I like it. I think their downfall is real. I don't think that they're gonna make it back for quite some time. I think they're in the rebuilding phase. Matthew Stafford is out there, but and Cooper Kupp's going to be there for the game. I just think they don't have enough to get it done against them. I think Geno Smith is pretty good. I'm dislike the Seahawks, but I do take them in this game as well. Next game for our big one, Monday Night Football, Cowboys and Giants, baby. Who you got?
Is that Monday night? That's Sunday Night Football.
Sorry, Sunday night. I was corrected. But that is one that's going to be worth 2 points because it's a primetime game, and we will take that as well. We're going to make the Monday night a 2-point game as well. But Sunday night, Cowboys and Giants, who you got?
I got the Giants.
Yep.
Yep. I don't think that they'll outdo Dallas in the regular season, but I do think that there's going to be a gritty game to watch on primetime this week, and I think that's going to be it.
All right. I think you're crazy on this one. I think the Cowboys take it. I think they have enough to go ahead and rout them on their first game. I do think later on in the season they go 1-1 against each other. I think the Giants might take it later on in the season as the Giants start to develop. And then our last game for Monday Night Football, we have the Bills and the Jets, which is going to be an outstanding game.
Yes.
Who you got?
I'm going to do it again. I think they're the underdogs in this game, which is kind of crazy to me, but I think that the Jets are going to take it.
All right. And another one that we disagree on, I have the Bills. I think the Bills are going to take it. I think Josh Allen is going to come out strong. I think they start strong and they finish kind of weak, but I think they still have enough to take their division, obviously, like I said before. And I just think that the Jets won't have everything together yet. But I do think the Jets will be a strong team. I think that this game will be really close, and it's going to be a really good watch. But like I said, I do have the Bills, so there's another disagreement. And there you have it, folks. Those are our picks for this week. We're going to put them up on the screen. We're going to see where we differ, and then at the end of the week, when everything's all said and done, it's going to be punishment time. Speaking of punishment, are you ready, Caleb?
No.
I don't think you are. We're going to start off pretty easy this week, all right? The first punishment for this week, if I lose and you win, I have to grow this here mustache out and look like a Mexican porn star for at least 2 weeks, at least. Now, do you accept these terms so far?
I think I know where this is going.
All right. If you lose and I win, you not only have to regrow this here, but when you regrow it, you have to do handlebars. Just handlebars. And you have to keep that look for 2 weeks as well.
Oh, no.
Do you accept?
I do.
Oh, yes, sir.
So do I just add on to this?
Oh yeah, while you grow, you add on to your little handlebar situation. Shave everything else clean, nice, but you got to have the handlebars, baby. And I want
All
to
right.
see it.
All
You're
right.
gonna have to keep it for 2 weeks when it's complete. That means
Bet.
when we
All right.
record, you got the handlebars, all right? And vice versa for me. I got the porn star stash. You ready
Yeah.
for this?
Oh, let's do it.
All right, man. With that, we're coming to the end of our show of Who You Got podcast. I personally cannot wait for the season to start. I love football. I am all about it. I breathe it. I live it. And we are going to have a great time this season with all of these series that we're going to do in this podcast. We're going to do one for every week. And then once we get to the playoffs, who knows? We might do the playoffs too. We will see. But stay
Yep.
tuned, guys. Enjoy the podcast. If you do enjoy it, please hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit us up with some comments. Again, this is Caleb right here, my good friend, and I am Dro. And this is Who You Got, baby.